Thank you, Martha, for sharing your story. Our next presenter is Edwin Perez. He's an infusion nurse here at Tampa General, and he's here to share his story, taking part in a life-changing decision. He is from Puerto Rico and has been a nurse for the past 16 years, mostly specializing in oncology and wound care. Currently, he is enrolled in the University of Tampa to become a family nurse practitioner. Outside of TGH, he describes himself as a family man. He has a wife and 2 wonderful children. He enjoys spending time doing community service and an active member at his church. Let's welcome Edwin.
Thank you, Janelle. I'm going to be sharing with you my exemplar, taking part in a life-changing decision. It was an ordinary day at work. I was asked to talk to a Spanish-speaking patient who was requesting to leave before treatment was even initiated. I introduced myself and she immediately told me she wanted to leave. I let her know that my intention were to simply find out why she wanted to leave after having labs drawn, but not receiving the chemotherapy. Mrs. M answered, "I'm a Christian, and I believe God is the only one that is going to be able to heal me." My immediate answer was, "I'm a Christian too, and I believe He allowed you to be diagnosed early, that the treatment is available which gives the possibility of a great outcome. I do, however, respect your decision. We will let the doctor know and take the Mediport out so you can be on your way home." I relayed to the nurse her wishes and left to care my assigned patient. A little while later, I went to discharge a patient in a wheelchair, and I was coming back to the clinic and I saw Mrs. M outside waiting to be picked up. I debated on talking to her as we don't really discuss religion at work, but I decided to approach her and I say, "Can I tell you a story? Even if it's fictitious, it may help you with your decision." She said, "Okay." I proceed to tell her of a man who refused to evacuate his home during a storm because he thought God would save him from any danger. His house flooded and he had no option but to get to the roof of the house. A search and rescue boat came by to help, but he refuses. A little while after, the helicopter flew by and threw a ladder, but he refused. He said, "God gonna save me." The man eventually died and went to heaven, where he questioned God why he had not saved him from the storm, to which God answered, "I sent an evacuation warning, but you didn't listen. I sent a boat, and you tell them to go away. I sent a helicopter, and you refused to climb the ladder. All those things I provide to save you, but you turn them down." I look at Mrs. M and say, this chemotherapy may just be the boat or the helicopter that God is sending to save you. You may want to think about that. We must remember that if we want healing, it has to be God's way, not our way. Maybe God sent one of His servants to remind you of that. I turn and walk away, hoping my word will encourage her to reconsider. A week later, Mrs. M was sitting in one of my chairs. I was surprised to see her, and she told me as she went on to speak to her pastor, who told her that God worked in a mysterious way and that she should see her encounter with another Christian to speak to her as a sign from God. This is a turn make her rethink her decision, and she decided to accept the treatment. I was shocked and pleased as I had such a mental debate in my head when I decided to talk to her. And as I heard her speak, I was happy I did. Mrs. M continued her treatment. I never had her as a patient again until the very last treatment. It was very emotional to see her complete her treatment and have the opportunity to ring the bell right next to her. Mrs. M is currently in remission, and I was happy to have it taken in her life-changing decision. Thank you.